The ninth Pikachu movie is Pokemon Ranger and the Temple of the Sea. With the pre-production well underway, the production staff, including the director Yuyama, went to Italy in September in search of images for the new movie. The first city the crew visited was Rome, a city rich in history.
In the movie, there's an ancient ruined temple. So, of course, we wanted to visit Rome. There are so many amazing old ruins, like the Colosseum. So, we're definitely going to focus on the ruins. Yes.
Key to the movie's climax is a temple called Akusha, which actually floats on the ocean. The crew spent 3 days in Rome touring the ruins and temples, searching for images and details for the movie. What really captured the director's imagination was the Colosseum, one of the most famous ruins in the world. Measuring 188 meters by 156 meters and 50 meters tall, the famous amphitheater was built to hold 50,000 people back in 80 AD. After 2,000 years, it looks a bit different, but there's no denying the majesty of this incredible location.
What do you think about the location?
The Colosseum has a strange feeling to it.
Is it close to the image you had in mind for the movie?
Well, it's not round, but there are so many amazing details to draw from.
One image was born while actually touring the Colosseum.
This texture.
These white marble slabs used to be all over the Colosseum. The director asked the staff to carefully record the texture of the marble.
How about a temple that's made from this white marble?
I bought this earlier.
Oh,
They're before and after photos.
Yeah, interesting.
This is what it was. And
the size.
the size?
I think our temple can be this big. I'm thinking about this large, strange white ruin that floats around the ocean.
The crew then headed to Naples, where the summer sun was still shining brightly.
In Naples, I really want to see the ocean, and then the harbor towns. I'm really excited about those two things. And if we have time, I'd love to see some of the ruins around here. But, like I said, most important to me is seeing the ocean and the harbor towns.
First, the crew decided to shoot the Amalfi Coast south of Naples. The coastline is jagged and rough, with beautiful towns scattered throughout the inlets. Almost as if from a painting, the ocean seems to continue on forever. In 1997, it was inducted as a World Heritage Site. After photographing the coastline from the air, they decided to get a closer look from a boat. The art production team carefully documents the texture of the rocks and how they jet out from the land. The next day, the crew headed to Pompeii, another World Heritage Site. The ancient city was destroyed when Mount Vesuvius erupted in 79 AD. The city was remarkably preserved under the layers of ash. You can see the track marks from a cart's wheel in the road. There are remains of a kitchen from an outdoor restaurant. Inside a family's kitchen, you can see an oven and a mortar. It's an amazing window into the lives of the people back then. Beneath the city of Naples, the crew was in for a big surprise. After climbing through a small entryway and down the stairs, there's a fascinating space that was built by the ancient Romans and used as a bomb shelter in World War II. Going deeper, The walkway becomes much more narrow. The only light down this far was from candles.
Is this a waterway?
This path is an aqueduct built in ancient Rome and goes all the way to Pompeii, 50 kilometers away. The city even has an underground reservoir. Again, Uyama had an idea inspired by the location.
There's a scene where Ash is running from a flood of water underground. Maybe I can use something like this in that scene.
You mean that narrow path?
Right, since that was a waterway.
The last stop on the trip for the production staff was the Isle of Capri. From the air, the director saw a town he thought would work well with his vision of the main set for the movie, so they went down for a closer look.
The harbor has really large ships passing through. The size is perfect. And the town is just gorgeous. The Rocky Mountain, in the back there, is also nice.
After 6 days of touring Italy from Rome to Naples, what did the director take away from the trip?
What surprised me most about Rome was that there are extraordinary ancient ruins from thousands of years ago, intermingled with the modern elements of everyday life. This rich history is all around and mixed with ordinary life, so you get a feel for what life was like. You get the immediate sense that real people lived there and did things. I found that quite fascinating. The ocean in Naples was emerald green and so beautiful. A major theme in the movie is the beauty of the ocean. So the color of the ocean is now definitely going to be emerald green. And the rocky cliffs were so immense and majestic. I would love to use this shoreline somehow. Everything was very vague when we started. So we came here to find details. And as I saw different places, I got many more ideas. And I think that will be reflected in the movie.
We've been thinking about a scene where Ash goes through an underground tunnel. Originally, we had him running quite easily through the underground tunnels, but I think now we'll incorporate the narrow space of the waterways we saw and also show how cold it was. I really like to convey the feeling you get when you're out on the sea, how the sun feels, the feel of the townspeople, even animals. I want to show the fish in the sea and the dogs and cats, all the things we saw in town. Those are the things I want to depict in this movie. I think the feel and sensation of the movie will change a lot from what we thought before this trip. As we saw in Rome and Naples, the scenes where we have the ruins will probably now depict more of how these people lived in ancient cities, alongside the history of that time. It would be nice to add details that are more timeless and show modern-day things in ancient ruins.
I was floored by the color of the ocean in Naples. The ocean was a deep blue and emerald green. It was something I had only seen in pictures. I liked the combination of the bright sun, the white sand, and the blue ocean. It had such a light air about it. I also would be interested in putting in some traditional Italian music.
With a beautiful ocean as its backdrop, get ready for the 9th Pokemon movie, Pokemon Ranger and the Temple of the Sea.